Okay, good afternoon, guys. So I'm a bit out of breath. I just got off the treadmill about 10 minutes ago. Well, less than that. So I'm a bit puffing and panting. I've been trying to take some deep breaths. Okay, 17th of April 2023. If anybody doesn't know, this is, a couple of people asked, what are you doing last week? So this is trading on the 2000 tick chart, which is just means each one of these candles represent 2,000 trades, and this is the S&P 500 futures market. So I have been looking. Well, I have did a trade earlier, but I got out of it. It's starting to go a bit sideways. I'll tell you about it in a minute. So who we got? Indy, how you doing? Speedy, how you doing, Speedy? What? How you doing, my friend? Grandpa Roger. Ranwolf, stay focused. Yeah, it looks like it's a bit frustrating that. I mean, we had a little bit of sideways, then we had one leg down and we had two perfect measured leg back. Nice big bearish bar, waited for the next one, which I took, and it started going a bit sideways, so I came out of it for 3/4 of a point. But to me, it looked like one leg down, two perfect legs back, followed by another leg. I did have my order down here, but it started getting a bit sideways, and you know what it's like. It's a bit frustrating, isn't it? But let's have a look. What's it gone down? It's gone down. Yeah, it is a bit frustrating when it goes down a few points, but trouble is, you just don't know, and it started to get close, and I didn't know whether it was going to keep on going sideways, but it did slowly start to grind down. But I just lost my bottle a bit, and sometimes better to come out with a guaranteed. See, it's a good trade. It would usually still work, but I'm still having this bit of a confidence battle at the moment. So you know what it's like. It is what it is. So. I have had this little range drawn because we did a bit of sideways, but it's looking more like some downward to me so far. So if I put that there like that. So whether it turns out to be like that, I don't know, but it looked to me like one leg down. It was a perfect measured move followed by a big bearish bar. And this, the midline of this channel I got drawn, it's using it 1, 2, 3. It's used it. In fact, I didn't even notice that 1, 2, 3. It's sort of like a triple test in a way. We came down, tested it once, tested it twice, tested it 3 times after a perfect move. I left that one, but then when it came down part the way and had another beautiful bearish bar, for me it was a good trade. But it's a shame I came out of it. How you doing, buddy? Floppers, okay. We'll go with that. We'll also looked at that trade, but don't like shorting. OVL, what's that? Overnight lows. Is that what you mean? Yeah, well, I mean, we'd only really sort of touched it once. We came down, touched it once. We came up and touched it a little bit again, but it's just because we had a perfect measured leg. I left that one. I thought we'll see what happens. And when it pushed below, came back up, and then finished with a beautiful bearish bar. To me, it just looked like one leg down, two legs up, one leg down. It looked like a sort of a down move. And to be fair, I have my stop. I don't know, about half a point. Would I have made that or not? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think I had my stop around about here, I think. I tend to not go right to the bottom, so yeah, it would have worked. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So I'd have had my stop around about there, I think, so it would have been 4 points. But, you know, you just don't know sometimes. Sometimes when it goes sideways, I've stayed in trades before and it just eats you out. And it wasn't the smallest of bars. What was it? It was a 4 point, so a point above. It was a 4.5 point risk. So when it came down here, I thought, yeah, great. And then we had this bar and then it slowly came down. And I don't know, it started to go a bit sideways and congested. So sometimes, you know, measured moving played down was positive to take the trade. Yeah, I mean, we had this leg, didn't we? We had the one leg, but when we had that perfect measured leg up and a big bearish bar, that's what got me looking at it. I was sort of looking at it and on the treadmill at the same time. And then when it came down here and came back up on this one, I dropped it in. But then it started going sideways. So, well, it is what it is. But yeah, I got out of it with $75, better than a kick in the teeth in it. But we are getting close. The market opens about 45 seconds my time, so it could have bounced. Yeah. The only reason that got me into it is because we had this sort of retrace 1, 2 perfect legs, and this bar. That's what got me interested. And then following this one, and but it got down to about what did it get down to? About 4.5 points in it, something like that. It actually went down to 5 points, so anything, but that's not bad. We may not have finished yet. It may just come back and retest this bottom or the measure leg, but or the EMA, sorry. But I still think it'll. They're usually pretty accurate, actually, but we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, I hope everyone's had a good weekend and are ready to do some damage. Don't forget, there's still 90% on. I believe it finishes on the 20th. Wednesday, Thursday, which is Thursday. It looks like we're going to hit this. Market's officially open. But yeah, there are some people use that code. So if you have, it's much appreciated. But I actually, I actually took, what did I do? I took 3 myself yesterday. Sorry, 4 myself. And it's cheaper than I thought, actually. You think an extra 10% off, it wouldn't come down for 33, but it's under $20. So I was really quite surprised how cheap it was. I've only had a couple of them before on the 90%. We've only had the 90% once, I think. But so okay, possible second entry shorty. I still believe we'll get down here, but I don't really want to be going short there. We may have a trend. Let's see, that's triggered anyway. But I don't know. It's just, if I was going to go short, I would want it to push up through there and then come back down. But I'd like to say we're going to make this measured move. We'll see. I would have thought so. Put it that way, but I don't know. It's just too close to it for me to get sort of interest, really. See if that would have stopped out. I'm just wondering. There's a failure there, which is triggered. I'd say that's likely going to get stopped out. It has done, yeah. So let's see if we make this measured move now. But yeah, I'm just thinking there may have been some longs there. At this low, trying to go low once, trying to go low twice. Nice bullish bar right on its highs. One tick up, came back straight back down. So I'd say that judging by that, the moving's still down at the moment. So that is like a double bottom, isn't it? Near enough. So whether this will be a double trap or not, maybe. Which is why I didn't go short there. It's too close to that measured move for my liking, and same again, it's going sideways. So. I'd say it's likely to hit it, but you just don't know, do you? Okay, so that one is intact. So we had made that new high. Try go on, so that's a failure. So there's a possible trap there. Possible second entry long. This is Trap City. This is. I'd say it's likely to hit that and just take out any possible long stops there. Let's have a look. Okay, so I think that is like one tick higher than that. I think it's hard to tell sometimes when you... but it does look almost like it's bottoming, but who knows? There's probably going to be some shorts in here, so I'm quite... Well, I could have got a bit more, but I got out. But the thing is... And I've done it before, I'm not experienced enough and confident enough, really, to sit through all this sideways stuff. If I had $20,000 in that account, then yeah, I probably would. But building an account at the moment. Hey, Stefan, how you doing? Building an account, it can be quite scary and nerve-wracking, and it messes with your nerves a little bit. So sometimes it's better to get out with a guaranteed something. At least you guaranteed it. Yeah, it does look like it's, let's have that 1, 2, triple bottom followed by a nice bullish bar. If there was any shorts in there, they're not there anymore. So whether it'll go up and move up now or whether it'll come back down, it may do. Possible. Yeah, just risky. So yeah, so hope everyone's had a good weekend and ready for some action. Gotta say, I'm not a fan of the weekends when you're a trader. You just want Monday to come round, don't you? Hey, Growl Daddy, how you doing? So yeah, I was going to say something now. I can't remember what it was. It will come to me. Okay, let's just see if there is any type of a channel down there. It's possible. It's hard to tell, really. I mean, it's clearly 1, 2, 3. It's clearly 4 if you count that. So you may say this is a break, and it might come down. It may say it's a break, and it will come down and make this measured move. But the fact is, it's getting further and further away from the backside of here. So I don't know at the moment. It's a little bit unpredictable. So we'll just leave it be at the moment. Possible second entry short there. But I don't know. I'm not so sure what's going on at the moment. In fact, it could be a. Let's do it from the back end. It could be like a spike in a channel type of scenario. Possible. Maybe a bit more. Possible. See what happens here. Yeah, it could be like a bit of a spike in channel. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think it's probably more sideways, down a little bit, and some sideways rather than a channel. Okay, that is, if you count that as a double bottom, possible second entry shot hasn't materialized anyway, so I'm going to get rid of this for now. It's a bit early, and I'm probably going to bring this down. Okay, I like that. Okay, we've had this measured leg near enough anyway. Yeah, I'll get 1, 2, 3 ticks off it, something like that. A few ticks maybe. Hi. Okay. I'm not sure if I've reloaded my historical yet. Give it a whirl. We did have some news earlier around about 1:30 UK time, but nothing really happened. It's around about here. There is a second entry short there, right under that midline. It's got a bit weird, isn't it? I'm just wondering whether that's likely going to push up now, possibly. Oh, look. I think Mac's back, isn't he, this week? In fact, that's what I wanted to do. I sent him a message the other day. Let me just see if I got anything back from him. A bit early. No, nothing yet. I think he's only just. I think he's been away last week, isn't he? He's only just come back, I think. Okay, interesting. We'll get rid of that in a minute. Push up sideways. I'm guessing we're going to push up again. Okay. See that? We got a new low. Well, the new low there. You can recount that, restart that. So we got a first entry, second entry failure, which is triggered. Be interesting to see whether that comes down or whether it pushes up. It's a bit, in fact, it almost looks like the volume's a little bit less today for some reason. I don't know why. It might just be because it's so sideways. Trouble is, when it's like this, it's hard to trade it, so you tend to stay out of it. And obviously, that slows down the amount of volume or decreases the amount of volume. It's sideways, bit of a push down, sideways, bit of a push down, sideways, bit of a push up, sideways. So it's pretty much that's what we've got from now, isn't it? Okay, that stop's still intact, the failure. Sorry, it's still intact. Let's see if it will. So we got basically, we got a push up, break new high. I wonder whether that is a, I'm going to take that.
Order submitted.
Come here.
Order filled.
That is a lower high. Let's see if it comes down to make this measured leg or retest these bottoms. Let's put that about there. Okay, so we've had this push up, we've had a break, new high, lower high. Excuse me, finish nice and bearish. I'd like to think we're going to come down, retest these lows. Let's have a look. Interesting. Where's my stop? There it is. Come on, take these bottoms, come on. Come on, push down. Come on. Let's put that there now, I think. I don't want to give up anything. I'd say it's likely going to test these bottoms. Hopefully if we can push down now. Come on. A bit more. Come on. There we go.
Order filled.
Okay. Let's cancel.
Order cancelled.
Okay, that'll do me. It's probably like we're going to come down here, but I just don't want to be too greedy. Okay, so that was... hold on a minute.
Order filled.
What happened there? That's strange. Why was that still showing? It was okay anyway. Everything's fine on there. I don't get that. I don't get why that was still showing like that. Okay, so that was 2.75. So what are we on 350? 2.75. Okay, I'd say it's likely going to come down here, but I just don't want to be too greedy at the moment the way markets are. See, we could have one leg down there. This could be another leg, but I don't want to be too greedy. So let's just take that one as a lower high. So lower high, and it was plus. Oh, we might get a decent push down right at the bottom here. We'll say, and that was plus 2.75 points. 2.75 points. Excellent. Okay, second trade of the day. First one was a bit of a. It would have worked, but there we go. What was that setup? We had a push up. So let me show you. I was doing something like that. So that to me was a short-term trend channel. We had a break of it and a two pushes up to a new high. Big bearish bar came pushed down below the EMA. Another big bearish bar finishing on its low. That was a lower high. Hence the LLH. That was a lower high. And that gave me 2.75 points. Took a quick 240 out of that. Good on you. Yeah, I think we've come back up and retested these highs, but we've had that short-term trend show. We've had a break. One, back a little bit, two pushes up to a new high. Big bearish bar, pushed down below the EMA, came back up, rejected, finished on its low. I'd say. For me, I'm just thinking we still haven't made this measured move yet, but we may have something like that in play. It's possible. That's quite a decent retracement, so it may be something like that in play. It's possible. Sorry. It's possible. So, that was there. It was a lower high, and we certainly it looked to me like there was a channel coming down there. And obviously a few red bars in the way, but let's have a look. Something like that, I think. I'm guessing something like that. The channel working down there. If this breaks up here, another possible short there. Let's see what happens. You got it as well, Indy. Good on you, mate. Yeah. There'll be a lot of people thinking that's going higher, but look, we've sort of, it's almost like a triple test as well. So we pushed up once, pushed up twice, pushed up 3 times, big bearish bar. It's almost a triple test, really, isn't it? Let me see if that comes down here. Yeah. It's like a triple test, isn't it? What's the best place to put that? Probably something like there. So 1 push up, 2 push up. See if this comes bearish. Short-term trend channel break. I'm not so sure, but I'm quite happy getting out where I did. Right, let's get the open. Where are we? About there, isn't it? Mac has an indicator on the forum, BP Mac 1, that will plot that for you. Yeah, it's, I've got it here. Are you on about plotting the actual one-to-one type thing? Don't know why that's come up there. That's it. I've got it somewhere. Where is it? Well, I had it here. That's the part 2. I've got one here somewhere. Under B, wasn't it? What you want about? What you on about? Plotting, bud. No, the open, the previous day. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't tend to like them because they send them differently. I like to put my own in because it comes up slightly differently, doesn't it? I tend to put my own in for the official open and that. But yeah, I know what you mean. In fact, let's feather that out a bit. Let's leave it for now. Okay, so now let me see if there is anything bigger working down here. Okay, it's possible. Yeah, this may be working down here. I don't know. It's a bit early to tell at the moment, but it's interesting that it never came up and touched that stop, which tells me that it is working down again. So push up a sort of short-term trend there, break, new high. Not sure what's going on. Whether we are doing something like this, I don't know. It's a bit early to tell at the moment, but we're touching there a few times. Let's see if it holds here. It might not be. It's working along the bottom end quite nice, but I'd have preferred that to tick a bit higher and then come down, but I'm not taking a short here because I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, there is be interesting to see if it triggers that and then comes back down. So we got try to go once, try to go twice, failure, triggered. Let's see if that comes down bearish. Let me just let me get an order here.
Order submitted.
Comes down bearish below there. No, in fact, I'm going to leave it. I'm not 100% convinced.
Order cancelled.
That this channel is valid at the moment. It's a bit early to put that in. Interesting. Okay, so at this channel, haven't we? We've had a break of it. We haven't had a new low yet, but we tried to go low once, tried to go low twice, failed, which is triggered. There's a possible second entry short failure there, which is triggered. I'm not 100% convinced what's going on. We're clearly ranging at the moment, so I'm not. Let's. It may come down. We'll see. Yeah, there is one, isn't there? I did have it. I think what happened is I had some problems with my chart. These bars started getting a bit funny, so I deleted a bunch of stuff. So it is on here somewhere. I just haven't got around to putting it back, so I just drop them in. Yeah, that's it there. And you can do this. Do you know, I used to have that, and I used to do it where you have the zones and all that. But personally, I don't see the point in them. It's grey on one side, that, and as it opens, I just don't see the point. It's just more different shades on there. Personally, for me, I just think it's more distractions. Yeah, some have, a grey section there and a grey section there, and it opens up as the market opens up. But it's just, it's distractions for me. I don't really see the point in that personally. Some people like it on that, and I did try it actually, but see what happens here. Okay, I sort of half expected that because try to go once, try to go twice, failed. But okay. Tell me there's some news on here now, is there, or not? I've got nothing on my chart. It might not be. It might be just the fact that there's maybe some buyers down here. But we had that short, which turned into a trap and trapped out any longs, thinking we're pushing back up here. Not a fan of the market moving that quick. But yeah, we had this. I expected a new low after this, and we did get it. There was a second entry short there, which I looked at, but there's a bunch of green bars going up, so it's just made me a bit nervous that. But I expected a new low after this, and when it came up, it didn't come up as high as that, so that would have been still intact if you wanted to. But yeah. Oh, yes, I picked up a few more. I'll just drag mine at the moment. This is what I've got going at the moment. I've got a PA down here. Another one's going to be going to PA soon, and I've picked up another 4 evaluations, and they're up already. So far so good. I just keep out of the way. There's that much stuff on here, and I'm using a Replicanto trade copy if anyone's interested. I moved over to this. I just lost a bit of faith in the Apex one. I have to say, now I will be honest with you, I have a discount code which will take 10% off, but in all honesty, I didn't pay for it. They gave me a copy for free. Now, they never contacted me and said, do you want a copy? I contacted them and said, can I have one? And I said, if I like it, I'll plug it. So far, I've not had any problems with it. And I'll tell you why I like it more than Apex is straight away, and I'll show you why. Straight away, where is it? It had a... I think I've deleted it. Yeah, I've deleted it. I had an update, another update. Now, I've had this now for about 3.5 weeks, and it's the second update. Just check it. Is that one? Yeah, I think I downloaded it. You download it, replace, tells you what to do. You just go into documents, NinjaTrade, and replace a certain file or something. So, yeah, but so far I haven't had any problems with it. And if you look at my chart down here, look, everything's nearest to the nearest penny. I haven't had one problem with it that I'm aware of. I think a couple of times there's still been something left, but there was something here, but I right-clicked it and it hasn't made a difference to my amount, so I don't quite know. But it definitely works better than Apex. That I am convinced. Okay. Now this is probably a okay. That's interesting. So we've got a new low here. Try go low once, try go low twice. Let's see if it goes up and traps that and then comes down bearish, because there may be a triple test here. We'll see. Yeah, but definitely, I wouldn't go back to Apex now. Even if they gave me my money back, I wouldn't do it. It's much better. The fact that I've had 2 updates are there for a reason, to fix any issues, any bugs, any problems they might have. And I'm not aware that there are any with the Apex one. So my personal point of view, and they just don't give enough information with it, really. So, okay, so there is a second entry short there, which is triggered. I personally think it's going to get stopped out. It's a bit of an inside bar anyway, but I don't know if anybody would have took that, but I'd say that's likely going to get stopped out. I've never had a problem with Replicanto. No software is perfect. Yeah, absolutely. But I have no complaints. No, I'm much happier. I've got faith in it already, and I've only really been using it, I think, probably about 3 weeks, I think. But the issue I had with the Apex one is when you buy it, they tell you straight away they don't support it. Well, I'm sorry, if you sell something for $150, you have to support it. You have to have some comeback. You know, if you buy a washing machine from Amazon or wherever, you have any problems with it, you contact Amazon and they sort the problem out. They don't say, well, sometimes they don't work. It doesn't work that way. So, and I've had no updates at all. And I think when I bought it, they tell you to watch the videos. There's a couple of videos, but nowhere does it tell you that if you're trading, say, two accounts, if one triggers and the other one sits there untriggered, if you're shorting it and you bring a stop down to secure profits and the market comes up and hits your stop, it can convert that one into a buy order. I've had that happen to me twice before. Possible second entry long, which is also a failure. So whether we might push up a bit now or not, I don't know. So that's why I've lost faith in it. I spoke to now, don't get me wrong, I spoke to a lovely lady called Marion the first time I had a problem with it, and she sorted it out for me. So I have to be honest. But obviously Apex are a funding company; they're not a software company. So maybe, it's a bit, it's not unreasonable to not expect that you get proper support like you do with a software company, because obviously Flowbots or Replicanto, whatever they're called. They are a software company, a software firm that specialises in trading software. So you'd expect to get maybe more reliable, better quality piece of software. So that's just my personal thoughts. So I'm just going to bring that down a fraction. Come down. Why aren't you coming down? There we go. Okay, fits quite a couple of times there. Fits nice there. Okay, so we're definitely in a range of some form, aren't we? So it turned out okay there, but it was an inside bar anyway, so it made it extra risky. But we did have one leg up and sort of down, one leg up. Yeah, we had a break from this, and then obviously we made a new low. Is anyone starting to buy cryptos, are they? They've been bottoming out for a while. I'm starting to hear rumours about the bull run is imminent. I bought 20 Solana at $19.50. They've gone up about 30%, or 26% over the last week, so I've done right there. We certainly seem to be moving up. I got some ADA as well. That's made about 13% in the last 7 days. So, rumours I'm getting, the picture I'm getting, we're slowly starting to move up. Bitcoin's come up from its low of $15,000, so I'm slowly starting to buy. And I must say, when I started with crypto, we were more or less at the top. So anything I put in absolutely got nailed and hammered. So I've just, as it's come down, I've rebought and obviously averaged my price down. So I don't know if anybody gets interested in crypto or not, but yeah, so excuse me. But they say bull markets make you rich, or wealthy. Bear markets make you rich. So obviously when the prices go right down, that's really when you want to be buying. So just want to have sort of two irons in the fire, if you like, making some money from this and making some money out of crypto as well. Oh, so you got 5 accounts as well, do you? Yeah, same here. Get all right then. Got 1 PA, another one due to get PA soon, and I took another 4 as they're cheap. I think they're about $17, $16, $17, something like that. Okay. Push down, break, new low, hopefully. See if there are any buy orders down here. Guessing there may be. Hey DJ, how you doing, mate? Happy Monday to you, buddy. You on your own, or is your wife with you today? I'm guessing she sat next to you, keeping you under control. Making sure you don't do something too boyish. Yeah, there is quite a lot of congestion around this area, isn't there? A lot around here. Oh, she slept in today, did she? Oh, well, fair enough. How far are you behind me? It's just gone 3:10 in the afternoon here. Obviously, the US can be anywhere between 5 and 8, can't they? So what time are you? Whereabouts are you, buddy? Just remind me. I think you've told me before. Remind me how far behind me you are. Because I want to figure out whether she's being lazy or it genuinely is early. No, it's nice. That's the good thing about trading in the UK. I don't start till about 2:15 in the afternoon, so you can have all the sleep you want in the UK. Okay, there is a second entry short there, but it's way too close to the bottom. And it's congested. I don't know when it's going to go up from here, or I'd like to think it's possibly going to come down and maybe just touch this area around here. If you're going to buy this range, obviously down here is where you want to buy it, really, not here. So just for that reason, I would say I would expect it to come down here and just break these lows here and sort of finish somewhere around here, but we'll see. So one leg up, two legs up. Looks like two legs to me. I would expect this bar, if it finishes bearish, to then push down to these lows somewhere. Florida. Okay, so it's 10. Ah, it's not too bad. Kick her ass out of bed. Yeah, okay, fair enough. No argument there. Florida, so I'm assuming the weather's quite warm where you are, isn't it? Let's have a little look. Let's have a look what you got. 19 degrees. Oh, you got some thunder today. Heavy thunderstorms. Oh, hello. Heavy thunderstorms and cloud. Oh, it's warming up today. Yeah, it's quite nice. You've got some beautiful weather coming tomorrow. Sunshine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the next 6 days. Around 26 to 31 degrees. Wow. Lucky you. What is it in the UK at the moment? It's 14 degrees C and cloudy. Happy days. Yeah, you got some beautiful weather to come. Heavy thunderstorms today. Quite high humidity. Yeah, you've got some weather. 89 degrees. Yeah, you two guys work on Fahrenheit, really, don't you? We tend to work on centigrade. Hey, Nick, how you doing, my friend? Another beach bum, aren't you? Where are you? You're Tampa, aren't you? Nick, remind me. I'm sure you were Tampa. See, you guys have some excitement over there. We get nothing here. You get, you get poisonous snakes, poisonous spiders. We get nothing. You get tornadoes, earthquakes. We get nothing. Yeah, it's quite quiet over here. It's quite a quiet place to live. No, mind you, to be honest with you. Well, I'll make it sound quite exciting, but it's not when it's happening. You're temporary, yeah. I got you. What's your weather like there? Oh, so you're Florida as well, aren't you? I think sort of Florida area. I think. I can't think now. Where are you? Oh. Yeah. Okay. So right. Yeah. So you're on the west side, aren't you? the west side of Florida, I got you. Yeah, I've been close to you. I've been to Cuba. I went to Cuba for 3 weeks once on a mission, secret mission. I can't tell anything about it. No, I just went there on holiday. Spent a long weekend in Havana, and then spent the rest of the time on the north coast at Varadero. So yeah, you aren't far away, are you? So yeah, that's it. Southeast west. Yeah, you're on the west side, aren't you? Lovely, 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 lovely. Might you get your fair share of bad weather around there, don't you? Yeah, if you ever get, I don't know whether you guys can go to Cuba at all, can you? I'm not sure. Beautiful, a beautiful place. I absolutely love. We went to Varadero and we sort of chartered a small boat and went out and did some far down. You are, yeah. I did some. I used to do a lot of scuba diving, and we went off the coast of Varadero with a boat and did some diving for lobster and that there. Beautiful, lovely, clear waters. Amazing. I'm guessing a lot of you guys are into that sort of thing, scuba, aren't you? Got to say, the first time I ever did it was in Kenya, in the Indian Ocean. Absolutely stunning, beautiful, warmest sea I've ever experienced before. It was just unnaturally warm. It was weird. Are you looking to buy a house? Oh, good. Golf cart lifestyle. Yeah, everyone's golf mad over here. I think the trouble is, because I'm quite a wired person, I'm more interested in just hitting the ball as hard as I can rather than figuring out exactly where it's going. So, yeah, I'm not a calm, calculated. The golf, you've got to be a little bit calm, and I just grab hold of the club and just swing it and whack the ball as hard as I can. It's a way to get rid of frustration. I've had a few games of golf in my life, not a lot. I used to go with a few friends now and again when we used to go out and have a few beers, have a heavy night, then go for a nice big fried breakfast and then play a few holes of golf, but never really took to it. When you come in to visit me in DJ, do you know what? I wanted to go to the US a lot when I was a kid, but it just, I don't know, it's just, you get a bit older, don't you? And I don't know, it's not on our list of things. I don't know, we have talked about, see, I'm 53 at the moment, I'm 54 in June. So I'll be 55 next year, so I get access to my pension. So we did consider taking a chunk of it and maybe going to Disney World. I've got a 14-year-old daughter. She'll be 15, 16 next year. So that's a possibility. So if we are going to be in that area, I certainly will let you know. But I don't know. We don't go away as much as we used to. But no, I've been too busy trying to make my fortune, and it's very, very slow going. I will tell you. You 30? I'm 19th. I am 19th. Yeah. Yeah. 54 this year. Time's ticking quickly. Mind you, having a 14-year-old daughter who's very vocal at the moment. Keeps you on your toes. Okay. Possible second entry short there. Not a fan, really. At the moment, see, because I'm a nice little startup, I'm quite happily finishing the day on that. So if I take another trade, it wants to be a goddamn good one. Otherwise, I'm not interested. You two live far from each other, dear. In fact, aren't you opposite sides of Florida, aren't you? Actually, on the map, it doesn't look that far. It's about 6 inches, but I'm pretty sure it's a bit further than that, isn't it? Yeah, see, obviously, the UK is a lot smaller. So you're used to bigger open spaces, aren't you? So, no, No, it's quite small, the UK. So yeah, you get some pretty nasty weather down there, don't you? We get nothing like that here, really. It's east to west, so that's what quite a distance apart. What is that? A few hundred miles, a few hundred kilometers or more? Guessing it's somewhere along that lines, isn't it? About 6 inches on the map as I'm looking at it. See, you're lucky in a way because you've got there are people. There's a lot more traders in the US. I mean, certainly most of the guys I speak to are from the US. I don't know if you know Marlon, not California, Los Angeles. He's from. I chat to him quite a bit. I've been chatting to Marlon actually for at least a year, I think. So let me just get rid of that because it's no point now. But yeah, it is good to have a couple of guys that you do chat to because it does help straighten your mind. This is one of those unusual. Hey Fife, how you doing, mate? Fife? Sam, sorry. About 200 miles. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah, you can't exactly nip for a quick cup of tea and a chat, can you, I suppose? But how you doing, Sam? I'm treating you. Absolutely. I did pick up some of your, Sam? I picked up 4 yesterday, mate, in your name. 4 evaluations there because they're obviously so cheap at the moment. So I thought I might as well have myself 4. So I use your code again. I always use your code, Sam. I can't see how Apex can go back to just back from. Oh, where you been? Anywhere nice? Don't tell me. Wales? Scotland's stunning, I've got to say. I haven't spent much time there. I drove up there once. I drove to, I forget where it was. I met somebody on the motorway just leading up to Edinburgh once. Anytime, mate. No, I always use yours, mate. I always use yours. Fellow Brit, fellow streamer, absolutely. Definitely seem to be arranging at the moment. No argument there. I'll be over dinner tonight. 202, yeah. See, what you want really is someone to live in the same town as you that you could hook up and trade together. You know, nice little office somewhere. You need to learn to trade these little ranges. Well, if they're as easy as Mac makes them sound, he says he loves trading range days. He just shorts the top, buys the bottom, but it's not always that simple, is it? But having said that, if you look, I suppose you could count that maybe. I mean, big bearish bar came down. Same again, big bearish bar on its low came down. Big bearish bar, although it was an inside bar, still came down. If you look at the bottoms, the only 2 bullish ones I can see is there and there, and both of those worked. The only 2 I can see is there and there, both of those worked. Although that was a little bit too high for me to think about going long. But to be fair, as far as range days goes, this is probably one of the cleanest we've had for a while because it's not breaking above there, and as soon as it breaks above and closes, and it's a nice bearish bar, it seems to come down. So I remember when I started trading, ranges were a lot easier to trade. Everything's tougher lately, so it just means you've got to be on your best behaviour. Really, you've got to be on your guard and only pick those really solid trades. Because obviously at some point it's ranging now, but it could pop out at any time and it could go up or down. That's the trouble. So if you're going long, it needs to be a damn good long one, doesn't it? At the school, I'd rather it break out and then come back. That says to me, as it breaks above, that says to me the buyers lose interest and the sellers take over, and then if it comes back and it ends strongly, that to me now is a good. I was thinking about this the other day, and I was obviously we're studying human behaviour here, aren't we? Now, if the market breaks above this line, seems to be the top of the range or thereabouts, within a few ticks. If it breaks above this, yeah, any buyers in there will have likely taken their profits. All of them, some of them, a good amount of them anyway. And then if it rejects and pushes down strongly like that and ends up on its low or close to its low, that tells me the buyers have lost interest here and the sellers have taken over. And if it's taken over and they push them, then I think it's fair, fair chance it's coming back. Same again there. We had this short-term trend channel. We had a break. 1, 2 pushes up to a new high. Big bearish bar. I'd have preferred it when it breaks out further like this, just to give those longs any chance to take their profits. And then if it rejects like this and comes down like looking like that, well, there you go. I didn't take that one, but I waited for the next best thing, which was the lower high, which was just as good. And that obviously came down. I got out there I just lose my confidence down here a little bit, and rightly so. My take profit was down here, but I tended to follow it down. I jumped out, rightly so, because look, it didn't come. But having said that, if I'd have left my stop there, it wouldn't have got taken out and it would have come down, but it still was a little bit short. So in fact, while I'm talking about that, it's probably best to probably put that there, really, isn't it? Yeah, that's a better way. I'm not too concerned with this because this was the first push down, but here and here and here, that's a much better area to put that. And strangely enough, that's the market open as well, so it's another good reason to bounce off maybe. Okay, so we've had a break here, but yeah, I mean, if I don't know, if we have a breakout, let's say here, for instance, let's say this is the top of the trend, and we have a sort of, let's say this is the top of the trend here, and we have a breakout like this, push back, because some of the trades I took the other week were like this. This is the top of the trend like this, and really it's not good enough. It's much better if it breaks out to give any longs chance to take profit, and then, because if you're going to short the market, really best place to short it is just above where it finishes, really, isn't it? And obviously if it did that and then came down nice and strong, it's a good place to come down. Obviously bad example in this state, but just for the representation of the bar. There you go, you two got a date. You'll have to introduce your wives. What time are we? We're going an hour. Excellent. Yeah, so it's about fine-tuning your training constantly, isn't it? Your trading, rather, sorry. I'm just going to get rid of that for the time being. Yeah, it's about fine-tuning your trading, isn't it? But yeah, if that was the top of a range there, the big overall range, and we came out, picked up any short orders, got rid of any long take profits, and we pulled down strongly, and look at that, finished on its low. They're the type of shorts you really want to take on. If that blue line was the, let's say, the top of the trend, that probably is actually. Let's bring that down. There we go, much better. Perfect. In fact, actually it doesn't look any better than that. Look at this. Touch perfect, touch perfect, touch, touch, touch perfect. Body, body, touch perfect. Look at that. So if it does break up here, say around here, and then finishes really bearish, then that's a good indicator that the buyers have dumped their orders, taken their profits, and the sellers have taken over and pushed it down strongly. So, okay, short-term trend channel, we've had a break. We're going to make a new high. In fact, I'm going to move this up a little bit, I think. to about there. I much prefer that. This to me is a bit of a breakout. It's the early stages, isn't it? In fact, I'll tell you what. Let's get rid of that. There we go. It's actually, as far as ranges go, and this is finishing beautifully. This is, I could probably get down a tiny touch to there. Yeah, lovely. Touch, nice. It actually worked over here as well, but I'm more concerned with this. But finishing nice here. So yeah, any type of a break like that out, which rejects and comes back and finishes like that, I think it's a good trade. Okay, trying to go on once. Interesting. Second entry long. Triggered. We've already actually come to the tops of here, see? So this may be a possible failed second entry long. No, nothing I'm interested in, just in case we've had this break and it does come up and make a new high, so it's a little bit extra risky. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing, mate? How you doing? Nice to see you doing well. Yeah, it's nice to have a start for a day. I think the weekends do you good, I think. I mean, I sort of miss trading when the weekend comes. I can't wait, but it is nice to get away and just process what happened in the previous week, because it does have a psychological sort of strain on you, doesn't it? So I feel a bit fresh this morning. But what I'm trying to be aware of, now you've brought the subject out and you're going to get me talking now. What I'm trying to be aware of is how I feel. And if I do, like I've got a PA at the moment, another one coming up soon, what I'm going to do is if I feel stressed or under pressure that I don't think I'm trading correctly, what I'm probably going to do is maybe just move on to one evaluation or something. I'm taking 4 evaluations at the moment, but I may just trade an evaluation. Because what I want to try and avoid doing is trading while I'm stressed or a little bit frustrated at what's happening with the markets. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make that part of my trading, that I'm trying to think more how I'm feeling while I'm trading. I feel nice and I feel fresh now. But obviously there are times where things go wrong and you feel a bit frustrated. And I think it's a good idea. Lower high fell, second entry long. There was a minute ago with this one, but to be honest with you, at the moment EMA's facing up. We have had a break of this channel, so we may make a new high. So it's just a little bit extra risky, that for me. May work, probably will work, but because I'm doing okay, I want something extra good, and that's a little bit risky. So yeah, trying to go on. So times failure may come down, but it's just a little bit nerve-wracking for me. So and it's worked under that, you know, in this scenario. But if you don't feel right, the best thing to do is just to leave alone, isn't it? Yeah, so you got your 2 points. You may even got 3 out of that, but you know, I don't mind. I've got no problem with losing with missing a trade. Yeah, you may have squeezed 3 points out of that. No, it's actually touching, so maybe not. You'd have got 2.5 points. But you know, I've learned to live with the fact that if I don't see something or it doesn't feel right, I'm quite happy with letting it go. My only slight concern is because of the break, we may make a new high. Although that touched the high, I much prefer the ones that break out and then come back in. I'd rather give this area here chance for the buyers to, you know, take the profits and pushing up. Because if you want to sell this, if the market's coming up this, you're going to probably sell around here, aren't you? Not here. See, we wait for it to come up, come down, and form a bar. And a lot of other traders we'll just wait for it to push above, and they'll sell up here. We'll wait to sell it here. They'll just sell it randomly up here. Well, obviously, straight away, they've saved themselves 2 points. So if it comes down half of that, you know, it's not a terrible technique. Lately, I've just been calculating risk percentage on stops and sizing down plays like that. Yeah. Do you know, I think what I will say, Jonathan, is the more you trade, you naturally find your own way of doing stuff and your own things that work for you. We all have our own little... It's like learning to drive, isn't it? You know, we learn to drive the way our instructors teach us, and then we sort of find our own way, don't we? Our own little, you know, what works for us. You know, but the more you sit, I think you wouldn't be a good trader if you weren't constantly developing and learning. We see these patterns. These patterns aren't random. They spell out a picture. And the more we sit here day by day, you'll start to understand that picture, and you'll have a better idea of where things are going. And you may take slightly more risky ones, you know. I mean, if we've had 2 perfect legs up and we're in a range day, you may decide to buy up, to sell up here and not wait for it to close, you know. Depends sort of, you know, how many points you're going to... If you're buying here, you might only be risking a point, as opposed to the average of 3, which we're sort of risking. So maybe you can afford to lose 3 of those, you know. So it's everyone's way of doing things, isn't it? But yeah, you wouldn't be a good trader if you weren't constantly learning and developing. So yeah, try to go on. So in fact, that's a new count, that one. So that will be a lower high there. So I would expect that somewhere to get somewhere down here. But the trouble is, for me, it's nearly 2/3 of the way down. So you may get 2 points out of it, but I'm not prepared to risk. What is it? That's 2.5. So tick above, tick below 3 points. I'm not prepared to risk 3 points to come down here, just in case. But it is working actually nice at the moment. This is one of the neatest looking trades. Lovely, it worked nice then. The failure did. Sorry, the lower high, because that was a new count, that. So okay, so we've had a break out the bottom. Our first break. See how this finishes. Okay, retested these lows. I was going to say something, and I had this measured leg drawn, didn't I? And it didn't quite make it. As it now, it's not far away. Actually, the market hasn't come. If you look there, it's gone lower there, and it's gone lower there, and it's gone lower there. So we may finally get this measured leg out of the way. I wouldn't buy there anyway. Yeah. Probably gone a bit too far sideways to make that measured leg now, but well, you never know. Interesting to see if it's it. In fact, we may have already done. That was the top. There's the bottom. Near enough. That'll do for me. Yeah, okay, so the trouble is, that to me is a bit of a channel. And it's a small downtrend. So, I prefer for it to break, really, before I think about going long, but I don't know. I still think we may make a couple of legs there. It is slowly still getting lower, but very, very slowly lower, so we may end up... there's the high, isn't it? That's the biggest retracement, isn't it? Yeah, so we may end up coming down. But that has triggered now. Not long. It hadn't triggered there, so I would say that if you took that back in, because it's still in that channel, I'd say it's likely going to get stopped out. But I might be wrong. Let's see. I'd certainly be nervous about taking that anyway, and it has triggered now. In fact, thinking about that, it was probably very similar to that one, wasn't it? The only thing I liked about that one is it was just the body was closer, whereas a little further away there. But actually, come to think about it, it wasn't a bad trade, I don't think. Even if you're trying to snatch a couple of points out of it, it's still worth $200, isn't it? I prefer that body to be a little bit closer. As I'm up $350, I just want to be extra cautious because what I don't want to do is give it away, and that is 2.5. 2.5. Is that 3 points? I don't want to give it all away. I'm quite happy finishing it unless I see something golden, and that was just it was just a little bit too low down for me. Okay, guys, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. Yeah, I'd say we're likely going to make this measured leg. Just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm just going to make myself a cup of tea. After I've been on the treadmill, I haven't had a drink and I am drying up here. So 5 minutes. Interesting. Okay, break new low. So, Okay, so what I will say is we've had this breakout. Dropped some trend channel, break new low. Struggle low on strong. It's interesting to see because this looks to me like it's retesting the bottoms. I still think, when I say think, I mean it's a thought and not something I'm trading on. I'd like to think it's going to retest these bottoms and then push lower. But obviously, that's just my thoughts on what I'm seeing, but I'm certainly not going to trade on it because it's what I think and not what I'm sure. Because we've pushed up, market price has been held. So, because actually that actually has played out because we've clearly had a break and a new low. So it might just be a couple of pushes up. And I'd like to see the market come down. Personally, one leg, sideways, two leg. I mean, why not? Yeah. Well, what I can see is if you look at this, this area here, that's a little bit lower. That's a tick lower. That's a tick lower. That's a couple of ticks lower. And obviously after this push up, the bottoms are slowly getting lower as well. So it's just, I don't know, I'm getting that impression. We'll soon see whether we push in or whether we bounce off here and come down some more. But it is early to tell. It might just be a fail break at this, which is why I'm not trading based on it. Market conditions can also change, but test the results aren't going. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's just I just based on what I can see. I like to say what I think because if it works, it just means I'm in tune with what I'm seeing. To me, it's looking like it's slightly bearish. But that's just what I feel, not what I'm confident, which is why obviously I was confident that was coming down, which is why I took it. I was confident that was coming down. Obviously, it went a bit sideways, so I lost my bottle, but it did, and it obviously played out. But yeah, what I think and what I do obviously are two separate things. But you know, if you think we're going to have two legs and it works, and we, you know, from what you're seeing, I mean, we're seeing patterns and we're seeing behaviour, aren't we? Human behaviour, and obviously, me being a human being, allegedly. I'm sort of thinking, just checking, I'm thinking on the same lines of what other people are doing, but interesting to see how high this comes. Yeah. Still don't think there's any type of a channel there, larger channel working. Yeah, it's just too early that. I've had a bearish bar here, so it looks like one leg, two legs. Let's see if this is going to come down a bit. One leg, two legs. So I'll look right to the nearest tick. One leg, two legs. Let's see if we do come down now. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, we broke out the bottom. We've had a break of this channel. We made a new low. We pushed in a couple of times. Bearish bar, pushed back out. Let's see if we retest this. In which case, if we do, I think we're likely going to come down some more. 70 pips. Are you trading currency, are you, Jonathan? Right, okay, I got you. I'm going to say pips. I know that word pips for a while. That's how I started with currency. I think that's how a lot of people start, isn't it? Currency. The thing I like about currency is you can trade it 24 hours a day. So if you're a real mad for it type of person, you can sit at your computer for hours. Trouble is, when you're trading currency, it's just charts everywhere. Charts, different time frames. Constantly looking at different pairs, trying to find weak currencies against strong currencies. That's why I prefer this. That's why I like this. One chart, one time frame, end of. That's it. Yeah, it didn't give us an entry really. I thought it may come back and give us a little tick higher, in which case if it did that, then I would expect then it to come down one leg, two legs. Okay, so this is still my target now. It wouldn't work otherwise. If we had this push out, we had a break new low, we pushed in strongly, came back out. So we've got to be going lower now. I should try gold. Is that? Oh, is it X? What's gold under? Is it XMG or something? X something something, isn't it? It's not under gold, is it? 10 ticks in profit. Oh, good on you, mate. Where are you from, Jonathan? Are you UK based, are you? Just looks like about as British name as you can get. Sure, yeah, we chatted before. I think you might have told me. Trouble is, I get gold is GC. Is it? Oh, okay. Oh, you're from New York. Oh, okay. Okay. I had a feeling you might have been from the UK somewhere. New York. Got you. Mm. Yeah, mistakes made on. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Mistakes made on what you believe to be good trades. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I've got no issues with making mistakes and learning from them. I think my only issue is taking trades that I know are extra risky and I probably shouldn't be. You know, when you get that little voice in the back of your head going, you need to be leaving this alone, and you just, that little sort of excited kid inside you just decides to want to jump in anyway, just in case. I got to learn the word that just in case is probably more of a negative than a positive. Okay, let's see. We're retesting these bottoms. Let's see what goes on now. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Once you see something go wrong enough times, you start to avoid it. Yeah, the trouble is, I think it's the old scenario. If you bang your head against a wall enough times, sooner or later you realise it bleeds. So best stay away from it. It's just some people take a lot more learning than others, and I think I'm the latter in my case. I tend to take an extra. Do you know, when I was at school, when I was younger, you listen to your parents, or rather, you don't listen to your parents, and you had lectures from older people saying, "Oh, you should always listen to your parents," and we always seem to want to learn the hard way. But when you get a bit older, you tend to listen to people. But for some reason, trading is the exception. Because no matter how many times you read it in books and people tell you, you still got to go through it. It's almost like a rite of passage, isn't it? You have to experience it. And I put that down to, if I'm learning to, I don't know, be a bricklayer or something, there's no stresses or no worries in that. You tend to listen to people. But because trading's such an emotional business, it almost sends you back to being a youngster again, where you don't listen to your parents, you learn the hard way. And I think the only thing I can think of it is because of the emotions. The emotions almost, take you back in age, you know what I mean? Take it, you sort of act a little bit immature, don't you, in a way? And that's the only thing I can think why we do it, why we do these stupid things, jump in, take random stupid trades, revenge trade, and all the other stuff that goes along with it. Yeah, absolutely. It is, isn't it? It's a real skill, but it's a skill that takes years to fine tune. I mean, what is it? I suppose if you put this up against sort of martial arts, you're forever really learning, aren't you? You learn the basics enough to get by, but you're constantly fine tuning it and learning about it. And but I will say, and I've said this before, I never really understood the meaning of the word journey before until I learned to trade, because it is a journey, isn't it? And it's one of those journeys that has good days and bad days. And, there are times that you're going to be running forward and springing, with a spring in your step and everything's great. And then all of a sudden you trip over and fall flat in your face and wonder what the hell happened. Yeah, it's definitely a real skill, isn't it? That just takes, it almost takes years to master. Well, I don't think you ever do master it, do you? But it is one of those real skills which takes a long time to sort of get to grips with. And then obviously you've got it's a combination, isn't it? It's a combination of learning to read these and obviously having the emotions constantly having an effect on you as well. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? It's something I've never experienced before. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, so, interesting. I am listening to that book at the moment. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I listened to a bit more of it last night, but I fell asleep. I've got it on Audible, Amazon's Audible. Maybe later. Best Loser Wins. I started listening to that. Well, I started listening to it a few weeks ago. Somebody mentioned it, but I drifted off for some reason. But I started listening to that. But yeah, it is, isn't it? It's an unusual thing. The emotional side of it. It's very unusual. And we go through stages of thinking it feels different now. I feel better. I feel like I'm getting it, and then you do, and then something goes wrong, and then another week or two later you feel, oh, something feels different now. I feel like I'm getting it, and then I've said that so many times. But what I feel that's changing in me now is I'm starting to accept things more instead of fighting them. You know, if I'm in a trade and it's going to lose, it's going to lose. You know, all I can try and do is what we all need to do is wait for a good setup that you believe to be a good setup. Now, I've always been kind of an all-in guy. It's either all or nothing. If I can't do it perfectly, I'll happily cock it up. Not happily, but I feel like, you know, well, I've already messed it up now. What's the point type of thing? So I've had to learn that you can't be perfect in this business. Because one of the factors that makes it difficult is because market's moving so quick, you don't have enough time to think. You know, if we looked at a setup and then the market stopped for 10 minutes, we could sit down and think about it logically, couldn't we? But we don't have that time. And sometimes, you know, no matter how much of a good trader, you're going to make human mistakes because you don't have a lot of time to make these decisions. You know, in a lot of cases, the signal bar doesn't, you know, change till the last minute, does it? Does it finish bearish? Is it above the EMA? Is it below the EMA? And we've got to make a split decision, which, you know, takes seconds. So sometimes you're not going to get it right. So I've had to learn to be able to forgive myself and not be too hard on myself, you know, and think, well, I've already messed it up now. What's the point in you know? So what I've had to do, and it's been difficult, is if I lose a trade, I have to try and put it aside and think, okay, it's happened. Because my biggest mistake was jumping straight back in there to try and, you know, to try and sort of regulate the error. And you can't do that. You have to sit back and wait as patiently you did for the second trade as you did the first trade. And it takes time to sort of get that through your thick head, doesn't it? It's just that constant pound of making mistakes, frustration. And at some point you come out the end of it and your brain starts to think, well, this just isn't working the way I'm doing it. The only thing I can do is just sit here and take it one step at a time. But it takes such a long time to start to realise that. And, you know, so it's... But what I will say is when you get it, you finally get it and you finally start making that money, man, you've earned it. And you can call yourself a trader. A job that very few people do, and very few people do it successfully. You know, and then when the ultimate happens, you start making a ton of money, and half a dozen people say to you, "Oh, show me how to do it. Show me, just write down what to do." You know what I mean? One good trade. Oh, right, yeah, interesting. Real old school prop firm. Yeah, some people do that, don't they? Some people do lots and lots of trades. I don't know, everybody's different, aren't they? There's so many different strategies out there, isn't there? Yeah, weird. A few computer money. Yeah, I've gone through one. I have punched one once about, I don't know, it might have been about 5-6 months ago. And threw it out the bedroom window. Stuck in the ground at an angle. My wife came running out, looking up. Shout, what the hell are you doing? Well, I agree 100%. My friend, 4 years experience, and had to stop watching Mac because of him setting unrealistic expectations and never showing losing trades. Yeah, it's just his. I messaged him once actually and asked him if he could show us the trades or just tell us in his chart the trades he took, and did he lose any? And I can't forget what he said, but he was quite tactful. He went, a lot of the trades I take might be a lot more advanced. You might not get them. They might be harmful to you, something like that. But he did say, if you listen, sometimes you can figure out with what I say which trades I took. So, take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But yeah, it is. It's a real eye opener trading. But what I will say is, when you get to the stage where you're making money, man, you've earned it. It's a. I never went to university, and I admire these people who go to university, spend 5 years at university, study the ass off themselves, and eventually get into a well-paid job that they've really earned. And I never really did that. But this is my way of sort of doing it all again, going back to school, if you like, and learning to do something, a real professional skill, which takes, a lot of years to master. And when you finally are sat there, with a nice healthy bank balance, making some money, only working a few hours a day with all, loads of friends and family jealous that, oh, you lucky this, lucky that, you've certainly earned it. Yeah, I know what you're saying, mate. Yeah, I know what you're saying, buddy. Yeah, I don't know, because he's so experienced in it. You don't know how in tune you eventually get with these markets. You don't know whether you learn to read them like reading a book, page 1, page 2, where you sort of, the story and you know what's coming next. So, but yeah, I know what you're saying. It would be nice, but I don't know. A lot of people avoid mentioning losses. I don't know. I don't quite know why. If I post my charts on the Facebook ones, I've always posted my losses. For me personally, I don't mind, but because what I used to do, I always used to ask for some feedback, and I thought, if I'm putting winning trades all the time, I want feedback on the ones I've lost, why they've lost. So yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I have gone back over. What I will say about Mac is, I think he's done a lot for traders, because you can spend such a lot of money on courses, and he charges $125 a year, which I think is absolute peanuts. It's so cheap. But he's put a lot into trading. He's put a lot into helping people. I think he just enjoys doing it. That's the only thing I can think. No, he means well. Yeah, it's just some people just, I don't know, are naturally good at getting things over. You know what I mean? I found sometimes some of the videos where he describes something, I found it quite hard to pick up on him, and I've had to pick a few other brains on the Facebook group. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's a natural teacher. He's but he is a nice guy, and I've got to say he's answered every message I've ever asked him. But yeah, I think it'd be nice if he did say that. But whether it would help or not, I don't know. Who knows? Excuse me just a sec, guys. My wife's just turned in. I'm just going to I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, yeah. Definitely working down at some, certainly, but it's just not very clear. It's almost like a bit of a wedge, isn't it? Now let me see if there's any type of channel. No, it's more sideways than channel, isn't it? Oh, you went short there, did you? Yeah, I'm just not sure about this. See, if I wasn't up, I might be inclined to take something a little bit more aggressive, but as I am up, I tend to go extra safe. Because even if I don't take a trade for the day, I'm still 350 up, and that's over 6 accounts. So it's all good. It's all good. If I was up 350 a day, 1450, 1750 minus fees a week. Great amount that is for one account. You've got 10 accounts. That's some serious money. Ekitri. I can never say your name. How have you been getting on with how's what's it getting on? The gorilla guy. I keep looking to see if he's put any more videos out. How's he getting on at the moment? He's not put any more videos out lately. I did consider getting it and putting it on a separate screen here just to keep an eye on what he was doing, because I like the fact that he sort of trades a little bit like me in a sense, where he tries to go for more points and swings the whole thing instead of splitting it up. Yeah, I'm full-time profitable, Nick, making around about $30,000 to $50,000 a month at the moment. Yeah, just sitting on the beach now, mate. I am. Yeah, trading from my laptop. Porsche's outside. Lamborghini's around the back of the car park, along with the Ferrari, the Bentley, and the Rolls. Yeah, so there you go. Enough said. All right, if I'm gonna be honestly, I've got a Vauxhall Insignia outside in the van. But the Insignia looks very sportive, if that helps. Yeah, I live in the dream. Absolutely, Sam. I want to try and speak to people who watch him a lot, because it'd be interesting to see. I'd like to have him on a separate screen, because I'm trying to learn to sort of get more confidence in, letting things run a little bit. But until I can get an account built, if I can get an account built and have, say, over, I don't know, a few PAs with, say, over $10,000 in, then, I might be inclined to let stuff run a little bit. And when I mean stuff run, I mean, to me, this looks like we got one leg down, some sideways, another leg down. So if I just decided to take that failure, what I mean is maybe have the confidence to let it come back up a few times and then come down and take my profits down there, maybe. The unfortunate thing is that with only trading 2 contracts, it's not the ideal scenario to trade one, maybe a couple of points, and another one as a runner. I think Mac mentioned ideally, if you want 4 or 5, so maybe four, say 2 or 3 point scalps and 1 runner, or something like that. Yeah, see, I stopped scalping 4 ticks about 12 months ago, I think. I looked at, I was watching Thomas Wade doing it, and he was scalping for 8 ticks or 10 ticks at the time. And that got me interested. So what I did is I went over the Facebook group, and Daniel, and one of the traders, another trader, more experienced trader. He's not on Facebook as much now, but I know someone who's friends with him. And, you know, they sort of help each other out. And I looked at his charts every day for the previous 2 weeks. And he'd marked, I think, about 34 trades, something like that. And every single one of those trades made at least 2 points. So for me, it was a no-brainer. So I started going for 2 points ever since. And then eventually I watched Taylor, who trades for 4 points mostly. And the Penguin guy, who goes for 1-to-1 to 2-to-1 and so on and so forth. But I mean, if you go back and look at your trades, that trade there made 4 points. That trade there made 4 points. So most of your trades, you know, will make them. We'll do that trade, this trade there, that trade there. Yeah, comfortably. So if you took 4 points there, obviously, you know, if you're trading something like this and it's only going 6 points, then 4 points might not always work. But yeah, we're getting a little bit of sideways there. I like to think it's coming down, but see, it's slowly working up, but it's working down as well. So we're almost getting a bit of a wedge. So it's something along those lines. Let's have a look. Oh, there you go. Look, perfectly touched there. In fact, there as well. Look at that. Touch, 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 touch. Nice. Same again. Not too concerned with that one. Call that a bit of a breakout one side, the breakout of another. One leg up, break. High bearish bar came down. Yeah, if anything, it would be shorts I'd be taking at the moment. I'm just not interested in longs really. For me, down, sideways, down, sideways. For me, it's down, bearish at the moment. $2. Okay. Let's see if Max gives us anything yet. There we go. Interesting. Max got his about there at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. He hasn't put a leg down on his. Yeah, he's just got this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no different really. Kind of like that. Is like that. There. So he's got his. Apart from that, everything's the same. Obviously, we've got this section down here, haven't we? Okay. Okay. Let's have a look at this. See how this finishes. Right to the nearest tick. Let's see if that finishes bearish. Obviously not. See, the last time we came out the top, we came down strongly. One leg, two legs. Tempted, very tempted to take that.
Order submitted.
But I'm not going to.
Order cancelled.
It was a tick short, which in fact, probably more than a tick short actually. Let me just make that like that. It's a couple of ticks short. I think it's probably likely going to come back in. It was only 6 ticks actually. I'm going to leave it, I think. It is a breakout, that's for sure. See if we get a lower high or something. The bit that's putting me off it is we've come from the top, from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top, from the bottom to the top. We've only come 2/3 of the way down or 3/4 of the way down and reversed and popped out, which tells me it may come down to the EMA and then push up higher. I just don't like the fact that the last time we had the top, we didn't come right to the bottom, and that's what's making me nervous of taking this. Now, you may take that and just run it to the EMA, but I'm not so sure. I think we may now be working up a bit. It's hard to say. Just if that would have come right to the bottom and we've had a breakout, I may have been interested, but I'd say by this, we may be pushing up. What, like that? Looks like you're almost dead, doesn't it, really? Slightest of little murmur of a heartbeat. Yeah, so even if you rode, yeah, it looks like it's coming down anyway. It's just the fact that it didn't come down this time, so that's what made me a bit nervous. But you'd have got a nice few points out of that. Okay, so maybe it was okay. I mean, it was a second entry short. It was just a couple of ticks shy of that, and it's made me a bit nervous. If I hadn't have already mounted some, I'd have taken that for sure. But it was a little riskier because it is a little bit sideways and unpredictable. And just the fact that it didn't come down. If it came down, then I'd be more inclined to take that. We may get this other push down then. Looks like a nice channel there. May plunge out the bottom. There's probably going to be some stops there. Maybe a few more. Okay, so maybe it turned into a good trouble is you just don't know, do you? 2, 4, 6. Definitely 6 to 7 points there. Nice. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 points near us. Let me just check we haven't got a channel again. That's frustrating. That is frustrating. Mind you, sometimes at the end of the day, we've got to make quite quick decisions. And just the fact that it didn't come all the way down, it may have come just to test these tops and then push high. We may have had an uptrend. You just don't know, do you? I knew it was a possibility. The fact that it didn't come down, it just made me a bit nervous. Sometimes you're better off. By the way, Lance and everybody else on YouTube streams, I have so much respect for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. To be honest with you, I suppose people do it for different reasons. I did it because I thought it might make me more accountable. Because the way I was trading, I get that frustrated and angry sometimes. I'll just hit the buy and sell button and just trying to get lucky in the end because I got that frustrated. But the fact that I know people are watching makes you not do that. And I've only blown one account live. Well, I've been trading live since I started. So it's definitely helped my trading. And the only times I've blown accounts is where I've traded afterwards. So I tend to not do that now. Finally made an entrance. Finally got out of bed. Morning, Angel, or should I say afternoon? Okay, so we haven't touched this second leg then, so short-term trend channel break. Let's see if we can get a short from here somewhere. I kind of like streaming actually because it gives me a chance to do what I'm good at. Talk. Now, you thought I was going to say trade, didn't you? Trade. No, I don't know. The trouble is when you're sat here by yourself day after day, it can be pretty lonely old business. So it's nice to have the ability to chat with other people with the same interest. Okay, short-term trend channel break. Let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to retest these bottoms. Trouble is because we've broken out, we could do the same this side and pull back in. We did it there really. Pushed up, came down here, had a breakout. Same at the bottom. We could push back up here. Did somebody have a late night? few too many, maybe. He did tell us. He said you were still in bed with a hangover. He said you had a heavy night last night. What did he say? 3 bottles of wine or something? To yourself? Something like that. I can't remember what he said. Now I'll have to look back on it. Okay. Now. Maybe we flip it. It's funny you should say that, Jonathan. I was just looking this. We came down and I'm just wondering if this is the air we bounce back up now. I still would have preferred to hit that measured move, but bottles. Exactly. I had a couple of bottles of one, so I went out for a family meal once. And my sister-in-law was there, and she's a sort of keen wine drinker, and we had about 4 bottles between us. I wasn't very well, I gotta say. Yeah, I was in the taxi on the way home, throwing up in plastic bags. And I'll tell you a quick story. It was my mother's, I think it was my mum's 70th. It was a few years ago now. And we went out, and I got pretty drunk. And I remember, tequila, so how was it? I remember drinking lots of wine with my sister-in-law. And I remember being sick in the taxi. And you know when you had a few drinks, and I decided I'll pay for everyone, so I paid about £275 for the meal for everyone. And I was really sick in the taxi, and it was all down my shirt. My shirt was soaked. So we got home, and my wife just took the shirt off me and threw it straight outside. No, threw it in the bin. My mum's fella phoned up later that night and said, just in case, he said, I didn't want him paying for it all, so I stuck a £50 note in the shirt pocket. So my wife had to go digging in the bin to a soaking wet £50 note covered in sick. So I had to give it a wash and dry it all. But yeah, me and wine don't go down very well together, I've got to say. I'm much better on whiskey, I think. Tequila. Oh, I'm not tequila. There was a beer out, wasn't there, a while ago that was it lager and had tequila in it? I forget what it was called now. In fact, I opened a new whiskey yesterday. A bottle of what's it called? I've gone blank. Nice bottle of whiskey. Nice bottle of single malt. What's it called? Balvenie. Bottle of Balvenie. 12-year-old double wood. Very smooth. Very smooth. So, okay, we're just about to touch this measured leg. So that does look like a measured leg now. We had push down, load of sideways, and then 1, 2 legs. So that looks to me like those legs came from there. I drew that early, but I got rid of it. Let's have a look. Near enough. Near as damn it. Unfortunately, there wasn't really a setup here. I thought there was a good chance we're going to go lower, but unfortunately, so if you had the nerve to stay in that, well, we had that retest the bottle. Hello. I was just joking. But no, it was me. I was only telling fibs. You're all right. He didn't say that really. I made it up. Don't worry. You already felt the need to protect your good name there, didn't you? Just in case. No, he didn't say anything. It was just me messing around. Don't worry. We know you're not a big drinker. Don't worry. Okay, so that real strong push down there. So, So, I wonder now if you could, that may work into a channel. So, look. Interesting. Look at that. Look what it's finished. Boom, look. Touched a bunch of times. Near enough there. Touched a few times there, and look where that's reversed. Be interested to see now if that pushes back up towards EMA. We've had a short-term trend channel break. 2 pushes down to a new low. Relatively bearish, that one. A little bit higher, another bearish one. I'd say there's a good chance and we may push up, come down a touch more, but I don't think we'll go lower than there before we push back up to the EMA. So, Balvenie, yeah. It's about £45 a bottle over here, something like that. But I've been waiting for it to go on sale because you get some good sales of whiskey. In lots of cases, you'll get a third off a bottle. I'm not a fan of paying £40 odd for a bottle of whiskey, but it's the first time I've seen it on offer over here, so very nice. So I had a couple of those yesterday while cooking a Sunday dinner. I think something, what's that, HTF? I think what, HTF? What's that? Yeah, 12 year, that's it. Yeah, I know it was 120 a year. I'd like to think how much that cost. Once you get above 18 years old, whiskey just dramatically increases in price, dramatically. I don't think I've seen a bottle of 25-year-old less than a couple of thousand, I don't think. Iron Strike. First polish, in my opinion. Yeah, so yeah, we're pushing up there. We may test the bottom of this. I'd like to think we're going to get towards the EMA now, but it does look like we're in a form of a downtrend, although it's down a little bit, sideways down, a bit sideways down. So maybe we may push up and go a bit sideways or something. I'll tell you what I'll do. Out of interest, I'm going to do that. Let's just see if that works. Possible second entry short, just too far away from the EMA. Sort of down in the middle of nowhere at the moment. I have got yesterday's lows here, so whether we'll come down and grace those or not, I don't know. But I'm guessing that is a lower high. See, I'd say we're quite likely going to touch the EMA. We may not, though. So look, that may just drop out the bottom. Interesting. That may be a little bit of a spike in channel, perhaps that we're going to go a lot lower. In fact, we may come down to this yesterday's lows. See what happens here. Second entry short that was. It was just a bit too far from the EMA for me, and if I was going to take it, but the fact that it's down the bottom of this put me off anyway, really. So see if we do drop out the bottom. Have I ever looked at the Inner Circle traders videos? I haven't. No. Now you mention it, though, I certainly will. Let me just take a quick photo. Okay, I just took a quick photo on my mobile. I'll have a look later. I'm assuming they're on YouTube, are they? Inner Circle. No, doesn't ring any bells. If we can get past here, I think we may do. See, there was a second entry short there. I thought it might push up there, but I wouldn't be shocked if it just falls out the bottom of that. Have a look. It's completely changed my... Has it really? Okay, I'll take your word for that. I'll have a look later this evening. All through... Oh, brilliant. I just took a photo of it on my phone, and I'll have a look later for sure. 100%. Yeah, I always look at what... I'm always up for something new. Anything that will help my trading, help my attitude towards trading, or whatever it takes. Have a look only at the 2020 YouTube mentorship. Take a photo of that. Okay, number 2 photo taken. Yeah, I'll have a look at that for definite later. Okay, this to me looks like a reversal pattern. Let's put that back where it was, up here. Let's bring that down. That is a break and a double bottom. So I would say one or two things are going to happen here. It's either going to go up or it's going to come down. This looks to me like almost like a bottoming pattern, but there may be some traders long in there. So if it does push below there, I think it will drop. If it doesn't make it below there, I think it'll push up. But we have had a small break and a new low. In fact, the fact that if we do make a new low, it'll take out any possible longs. It has triggered, but it's not. So I think it might go back up now. And there is a little bit of support there. So, yeah, I think it's going to go back up a little bit, I think. There's almost like a double bottom there, and it has broken below. So this little sort of channel, if you want to call it that, it might not be. But if it is, we've had a break of it and a new low. So let's see if we get any lower, then we'll come down. If we don't, then we'll push up. Strong rejection. Yeah, it's not very strong, is it? In fact, really, not at all. It may just drop out. I kind of wish I'd have taken that trade now. A little further down. Yeah, you might be right. Actually, it's definitely looking red, isn't it? See what happens here. And what I will do is bring that down a bit, because we may, judging by the way they're bottoming, we may do that bit of sideways, and we've done quite a lot of that. Let's have a look. We've had a push and sideways. We've done that right from the start this morning. Push down, bit of sideways, push down, bit of sideways, push up, bit of sideways, push down, sideways, push down. I'd say sideways again. Whether it'll push up or not, I don't know. I think it's going to go a bit of sideways. Let's get rid of that. Short-term trend channel break. 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. So let's forget the bigger one. It's not that clear. So this might be an area where it goes up and down a little bit, and then possibly eventually comes maybe down some more. Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a trend. It's certainly working between these two levels, top and bottom. No arguments there, but it is very much a pushing sideways, pushing sideways. Okay, how you doing, mate? Hello to you. Yeah, I'd say it's likely going to do a little bit of this for a while. Actually, definitely some more setups available today. Lower high there. The more I look at that one, the more I wish I'd taken it. Where was it? There. Push up, another lower high there. I think that was okay. Let's have a look. You may have taken a couple of these ones. That I don't think was a bad trade. Now, I'd taken away this this bigger channel. If I'd have kept it there, I may have been inclined to take that. I don't think it was a massive risk, was it? It was actually only a 1.5. Trouble is, when you see that, you just don't know. If you take that away, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know. It could have been the start of a push-up. It's hard to say at the moment because we're really ranging at the moment, so it was a little bit unclear, wasn't it? But the fact that we'd come to the top and we'd only come 2/3 of the way down just made me a bit nervous. A lot of times we'll pull out, come back, bounce, and then push off. But I think the fact that we got this downward momentum, obviously that, people obviously started thinking about shorting anyway. So yeah, yeah, and it hasn't closed below there. It's run along there quite nice. It's actually touched it to the nearest tick there, and it's pretty close, that is. So Raj looks as though it wants to retest Friday's low. I got it down here, buddy. You're a new face. Raj, where you from, mate? Always nice to hear new faces. Yeah, I got that down there. So it does look like that, doesn't it? So we may get a consistent push down for the rest of the day. Maybe. Yeah, I think you're right, my friend. But yeah, it's a lot of push down sideways, push down sideways, push down sideways. Let's see. So it depends how you judge this. Do you judge this as a little bit of a range and we want to break out, pull back in? Or are we going to push and come to this side a bit now? And maybe... hard to say. Oh, S6. I got you. I got you. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Always nice to see some new faces. Okay, so let's have a look. Yeah, it's clearly working down. No argument there. Touch. Yeah, failed to make a high and lower high. Yeah. So we've had these pushes down and then some sideways, and each bit of sideways is slightly lower. So whether that's not valid, and in the end we end up doing something like this, who knows? Let's get rid of that for now. So we're definitely, I'm happy this is a channel anyway. It's touched a bunch of times there. It's touched a bunch of times. So it's obviously respecting that bottom line and fits perfectly with the top line. Touched there, touched a bunch of times there, came back, retested it again, came up, retested it. So that's good enough for me. So I'm quite happy working within this area. There's our official market open. There's our daily open. So maybe we're going to be working up here somewhere. Who knows? Who knows? What time is it? Okay. Yeah, see, that amount for the day is a nice amount, but when you times it by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it just having more accounts just make things so much better, don't they? So you got 1, 6, 3, 6, 18. There's about $1,900 there, see. So that's the beauty of having multiple accounts. You haven't got to do a lot really. When you have 6 accounts, withdraw $2,000 a month. That's $12,000. That's 10,000. That's 10 grand British pounds. Not a lot of people earn that, and that's just based on 6 accounts. With Apex, you can have 20. You times that 20. You take $2,000 a month out of 20 accounts. That's $40,000 a month. That's some serious money. And if you can do that, you can obviously build those accounts, and then eventually trade more and more contracts and bump that amount up. Okay, so we've got this little trend channel. We've got a break. We would normally make a new high, but obviously I'm not thinking about going long. This is just a shorting market for me. If I was scalping a point, I'd be thinking about different, but I tend to try and get 1-to-1 if I can, or thereabouts. Hmm. Oh, shit. Fat, get rid of that now, can't we? Okay, short-term trend channel break. Let's see if this does make a new high and see where it goes. See, it may, one leg, it may get up here. Yeah, it is possible it could get up here. Yeah, okay, so this might be a little bit of a sideways area. Let's see. This is what we've sort of done, really, haven't we? Yeah, we've had a push down, a little bit of sideways, push down, a little bit of sideways, push down. Possibly the same again, I think. Actually, drop below it a little bit there. Same here, and the same here. So whether that finishes there or it comes down. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so we've had the short-term trend channel. We've had a break, so this may be a second entry long. Trouble is, I just can't go long at the moment. Obviously, things working down really. So, but it may, if it does finish bearish, it may come back up to here, or it may trigger and come down, and then trigger the fell second entry long. In which case, you're going to get trapped there. So it's congested anyway, so I wouldn't do anything really here. But at the moment, it's only shorts for me. Took a short there, took a short there. There's nothing else that's interested in me at the moment when we're working down. I felt to me good for short. Yeah. Trouble is, it's congested hell there, so it could do anything really. So we've had a break. Try to go once, try to go twice. I don't know, it's quite low down in this area as well, isn't it? It's, leg sideways. So we had that measured leg as well, didn't we? Yeah, that played out, didn't it? Okay, we may get that tick of a new high. Short-term trend channel break new high. So second entry long, but it may not go that far. It's hard to say at the moment. It could come back down, or it could make another leg up. It is possible it could do that. No, I just can't take longs at the moment. I mean, if you took that second entry long, probably got a pointus out of it. It might go up. Excuse me, but it's just congested, isn't it? And obviously things are going down at the moment, so you might get shafted. Having said that, a lot of times we do get this pattern where we push up, we go sideways, and we have another push up 2 legs, which is why I put that leg there. Interesting to see what happens. Okay, I may get another leg. I mean, obviously the best places to trade in a downtrend are towards the top. You've got obviously a lot more room for error there. And if you're taking shorts here, there's a possibility it could stop you out. You might not get much, but if you're taking them here, then obviously potentially the rewards. But obviously the further you take them down, the more chance it's got. It may tick you, or you may make a bit, then it may come up and take you out. But much prefer to take them higher up or just below the top. Okay, so we've had a break. 1, 2 pushes up to a new high. See how this finishes. Didn't realise it's a failure as well, that is. It's a second entry long, and it's a failed second entry short as well, but it is just so congested there. So if you did take that long, you may get stuffed. Okay, so you'd have got a point out of that. 1.25 maybe. So I think most people, if when they start, they do either a point. I know Mac trades a point, and I think people like Marco and I think Daniel trades 6 ticks, so 5 wouldn't cut it. But so I don't know, it could go up, might go up some more. Who knows? Yes, if I'd have taken that now, my arse would be twitching about now. That's the trouble. You take counter trend trading, really. I'm not saying it's not going to go up, but obviously the fact that if you're going against the trend, it just makes the chances of getting them a little bit less. I mean, there's always an element of luck in trading, but it's, what is it? It's about 95% skill or something like that, but 98%, maybe 95%. There's always that element of luck, and if you're short in a downtrend, obviously we've all heard the saying, the trend's your friend, and sometimes natural momentum can pull you out the shit. You might get lucky. But I'd be nervous as hell if I was in that trade now, so you're a tick away from getting stopped out. That's the trouble. It's a second entry long and it's a failure. So ordinarily, second entry long and a failure, you'd be doubling up on it, wouldn't you? But the fact that we're coming down, that's why I suppose more inexperienced traders get trapped here. I remember taking these trades all the time. I was thinking it's a second entry long, isn't it? And a failure. Great, I'll jump in. And I was wondering why they were losing, but because I'm fighting against the downtrend. In fact, I remember posting lots of these charts, and it was Daniel that helped me actually. He said, you're looking for patterns, you're not thinking about the context. What's the context telling you? Context telling me we're working down. You just added some long, yeah, it may go long. We may have a leg and another leg. Obviously, we're in a downtrend. It may want to get a bit higher before it attracts some shorts. And you're skinny your teeth there, really. It may go up, but obviously you're fighting against the trend, really, aren't you? So you just don't know. And if this comes down and ends up bearish, this will be a lower high. And if it is bearish, it's only a couple of ticks away from taking out some longs. So there's a failure there, which is trapped. So there's going to be some stops in here. There may even be some stops. Who said there was? Did you just say you just added some more? I'm not saying it's not going to go up, but I think the chances are in a downtrend we're coming down. So if this ends up bearish, it's only got to go a few ticks to take out a bunch of stops. Trouble is, I don't really want to go short right at the bottom of that bit of congestion there. So what's the strategy here? Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that, mate. I trade, and I think a lot of the guys on here trade PAT system, price action max price action trading system. He's been trading this scalping system for about 27, 28 years, I think, and he's been teaching it for about 13. So if you search up PATS, P-A-T-S on YouTube, he's got about 2,500 videos going back about 13 or 14 years. And it's just a high probability trading setups. But if you're good at it and you know what you're doing, you can get them right 95, 98% of the time, and more in some cases. But that's scalping a point. We tend to go for a little bit more now. Some go for 6 ticks, some go for 2 points. I tend to try and around the 1-to-1, so I tend to sort of get anywhere from 2 to 5 or something like that. But yeah, that's what most of us doing. Yeah, the Nasdaq does it. Yeah, there are a few on here, I think, that trade the Nasdaq, I think. Okay, so we've had a push. Yeah, it may go up. It may make a second leg up, which is why I can't short it at the moment. 1 leg, 2 legs up. Although we're in a downtrend, it's certainly going to attract more sellers higher on, higher up in this channel. So we may get a push sideways and a push again. We may get a second entry short come back down. It's hard to say, which is why I'm just leaving alone at the moment, because it's a bit unclear. But what I'm not doing is going long at the moment, just for the sake that we're in a downtrend. Not that it might not go long. And these are great places for traps. You know, if that triggered, you got some longs in there possibly. You got some longs in there. That could come tumbling down and take a bunch of them out. There's probably going to maybe some longs in there as well. Nothing worse than getting a trade and it going sideways. It's horrible. I gotta say, I don't like it. I did it in that one earlier. That one there. Where was it? No, it wasn't. That one there. Went down. Nice bar. One push down. One leg. Two legs. Perfect measured leg. Lower high. Expected it to come down, which it did. But it came down nice, then came up, and then it started going sideways. So, and we were coming up to the open of the market, which is why I got out for 3/4 of a point, which is better than a kick in the teeth. Yeah, I finish any time now, mate. I go for usually 3 hours. It's 10:02 now, so I won't be taking any more trades now. That I'm happy with that. I've done that over 6 accounts, so there's $1,900 in them accounts, so I'm quite happy about that. To be fair, the way it's looking now, it may just push up to make this measured leg. It is starting to tip a bit. If this ends up bullish, the way that sat on that EMA, I wouldn't be surprised if that pushed up. But it's still counter trend to me, so I can't take it. Yeah, in fact, on that note, I think I'm going to leave it there, actually. So, yeah, it's been quite a productive day. 2 trades. One, I bottled it a bit, went a bit sideways, but it would have made about 5 points in the end. But there we go. Yeah, I'm out for 90% of the longs. Yeah, I just think it's going to push down below there. I'll hold on to see where that goes. But for me, it's just dangerous taking them. Because we are in a downtrend of sorts. Although it is down and sideways and down, instead, the fact is that it's still down, and once it ticks below there, if any longs taken there, which I dare say there'll be some, there we go, they're out of there now. You might have got a point at best there, so chances are it might end up stopping you out and then pushing up after all. That's how it works sometimes. So yeah, you'd have got a point there, but that's the trouble with going long in a downtrend. The pattern says it's a second entry long, and it's also a failure. But what it is, it's a long trade in a downtrend, and it's congested. It's clearly going sideways there. So even if the context was good, the fact that it's going sideways should raise alarm bells anyway. So I'm green, absolutely, Indy. I'm green as well. It always. You ever notice your evenings so much more relaxing when you're green, aren't they? So, yeah, it's been a better day. It's still been a little bit of congested. There's still been a lot of choppiness. But if you're careful and pick your moments, they are there. And there was more setups today than another sort of dodgy day. There was definitely a setup there. That was a nice trade. That was okay as well, although I didn't get in it. But yeah, we got the new high here, pushed down strongly, straight back up above the EMA, then rejected strongly. Finished on its lows. Nice that was. I'd say that probably that one, and then that one were the two trades of the day. I can't say anything else that obvious, really. But yeah, that was a bit early. It was a bit congested, but I liked it, and it worked in the end. But just the fact that it went sideways, so there you go. But yeah, that was okay, and that was okay. So there was a couple of good trades today. Really choppy. Yeah, it is really choppy, but at least it's coming down. So it's always nice. Well, I always prefer to trade a trend rather than a range. Obviously, depends how the range is working, isn't it? Sometimes they can be okay, but a lot of times lately, every time they hit the top and hit the bottom, they're hitting in different areas, so it just makes it tougher. So that's it for today. I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, 5-10 minutes before the market officially opens. So I appreciate all you guys hooking up with me and having a chit chat. It's always nicer to trade with someone else. Just makes it a bit more fun, doesn't it? And a bit less lonely and boring. So there you go. So that's it for today. We've got a nice green day. There's my accounts there. So we got the PA there. It's coming up nicely, that. Another one hopefully starting soon. And I picked another 4 of the evaluations up because they're about $17 at the moment each. And I have got a code there, 90% off. So if anyone is interested, there it is. And if you have used it, it's much appreciated. And that runs out on Thursday, 18, 19, 20, Thursday night, midnight, I think. So rest absolutely. Have a lovely, yeah, I will do. You too. I appreciate all you guys hooking up with me and having a chat and hopefully learning a bit from each other. The more heads are better than one, aren't they? So that's it for today. Have a great evening. Stay safe. And as always, I'll be back here same time tomorrow.